My name's Alex Hynes and I'm a veterinarian at the Animal Emergency Service. I've been a veterinarian for 17 years now. Every day for me is different because I'm director of the hospital, so there's the business side of it, there's the running of the hospital, and that's what happens on the day-to-day basis during the week. On a day like a weekend, for example, I'm in the hospital as a clinician, seeing emergency patients as they come through the door, working the cases with a lot of the junior vets that come through. And so I love my time on the floor in the hospital, but I also love the running of the business as well. I did my veterinary training at the University of Queensland, and some of the best memories I have is probably the times that I spent with my year group. I think going through 5 years of vet school together, you form really close friendships with people. There's some times where you're under a lot of stress. I remember during swap back and studying, and we'd all be up in the anatomy prac lab and madly cramming to study for testing each other. And I don't think you realise it at the time, but just the bonds that you form with those people, which I still have today, I still keep in really close contact with a lot of those people even all these years later, is just some of the really special moments that I remember. I think some of the most talented veterinarians that I know are not necessarily the ones that got the highest grade when they went through vet school. They're the ones who really put themselves in the shoes of those pet owners, who take the time to understand what it's like for them to see the emotions that they're going through and work out how is the best way that they can come to a solution with them. So it's not about telling them what needs to be done, it's about listening to their situation and working out what is going to be the best plan for that pet together. The advice I would give my 16-year-old self would be not to put myself under so much pressure. I remember then I really wanted to get the very top marks, and I see now, looking back at my journey to get to this point in my career, that really that wasn't necessary. And I think a lot of the veterinarians here take different pathways into veterinary science, and for some of them it might be choosing to do a degree like science, for example. That's certainly what a lot of them do. Or for my partner Gerardo, for example, he chose a completely different degree to start off as well. And so it's not all about having to achieve those top marks to get into vet science. If it's really what you want to do, and if it's really where your passion lies, then as long as you pursue that, there's a lot of avenues to get there. I think one of the biggest benefits from going to a university like UQ, for example, was when I went to work overseas. I spent 2 years in Australia really getting the groundwork of my skills really down-packed, and then made the decision that I wanted to go over to the UK and work and get experience over there. And a degree from the University of Queensland really opened the doors for me. I really had my pick of where I wanted to work, and I'd spend time at different locations around the UK so that I got to see a lot of the different parts of the country, and I absolutely loved it. But there was never a shortage of people who would have loved the opportunity to work with a graduate from UQ, because I think the skills that we have as graduates are just so practical. And when you're working in locum positions like you are over there, they really want you to just be able to hit the ground running, and that's exactly what I was able to do. At the Animal Emergency Service, we take UQ students through all the time, because we really know that they have those practical skills and that they can hit the ground running. And not only that, they just have this keenness to learn. So they ask the questions, so they really become a part of our team. And so we'll really take any opportunity to help with their learning, but also they bring something to our hospital as well.